Hi, my name is Alex and I'm your guide in the outbound sales and prospecting world. Today I want to talk to you about the very first thing you need to do when you start thinking about launching an email campaign. If you never did it before, the very first thing you need to do is not writing messages. It's not putting a list together. It's not even setting up your ideal customer profile. The very first thing is set up your email. Email deliverability is the thing we're going to talk about today. Email deliverability is important because everything else doesn't matter if you don't reach the inbox. You're just going to waste your time, waste your money and other resources for nothing. This is why we're going to talk about how to set everything up correctly. And I want to provide you an action plan for this. So there are two things that impact your email deliverability, and it is your domain reputation and secondly, your email reputation. I'm not going to explain all the technical details. I'm just going to provide the needed steps you need to do and explain it as human as possible. So the first thing is to create a separate domain. Why it's important? Because you can't risk your main business domain for email outreach reasons. If something changes, and it changes every day, service providers like Gmail, they change the rules and they don't tell you that something changed and you won't even know. So there is always a risk of getting into the spam trap and losing all your email communication in the spam folder. This is why there are no other options. Just create a separate domain for email outreach. Never ever use your business domain. The new domain should be similar to the main one. So if your domain is business.com, you could set up business.co, business.net, business.io. This is what I would do. I would just change the extension at the end, or just say alexbusiness.com or something else. So basically make it as similar as possible to your main domain so that the recipient won't notice the difference. So the first thing, to recap, create a new business domain. Once you have your domain, the next thing is obviously to set up your new email account. Make it again as similar as possible to your main email, so that the recipient doesn't really notice the difference. And if you proceed the email communication from your main email account, the recipient most likely won't notice the difference. If you're worried how to connect all those inboxes and that you might miss some of the incoming emails, I will add a link on how to set up the forwarding. It's pretty easy and you can be sure that you don't miss anything. So second thing is to set up your new email account. The next thing to do is setting up the technical details of your domain, including SPF records and DMARC records, etc. I will include a link down below on how to do it specifically for different providers. And if you don't set up these records, chances are high you're going to land in the spam inbox. Next, when technically everything is set up, you gotta need a lot of patience because you can't start sending your emails right away. Domain reputation is impacted a lot by the age of the domain and the age of the email account. And I don't really recommend to send earlier than 2-3 weeks. This is a no-go. And I would suggest starting after 1 month. So after 30 days, you can start sending cold emails to your prospects. Until then, what you can do and what you need to do is warm up your domain. And you can do this with several tools. For example, Lemlist has a very neat warm-up function. What it does basically, it sends a lot of emails to different recipients with random text, non-salesy text, and those recipients, they open those emails as well as respond to your emails. So this is something very important for you, because for those systems that track everything, track if you're being a spammer or not, they see that you start sending emails to different people, people open those emails and people respond. That's a good sign that you're actually a human being who's using an email. And all those tools, they replicate the human behavior. That means that same as, for example, when you join a new company and you start sending slow to your colleagues, to some clients, and then it ramps up through time. And the same happens with these tools. So basically, if you're using Lemlist, for example, you can set up how many emails it should send per day and the ramp up period. Set it up for the 30 days we're going to wait to start sending the emails to our actual prospects. Coming back to the beginning of this video, you understand now why I said you should start with the technical setup before you do everything else. Because while you wait for the 30 days of not sending everything, you can set up your messaging and also prepare your list. So a few things that you should consider to improve your deliverability is, first, add a solid signature to your emails. Don't include too many links into your signature as well as to your first email. Secondly, make sure that you clean your list and that you send either to only OK emails at the very beginning. Next, you can also try to email catch-all emails. I have another video on explaining which one you should use for your campaigns, which one you shouldn't. The third thing and most important thing is, once the 30 days are over, you're ready to rock, you have a list of, let's say, 2,000 contacts, don't send 300 emails per day immediately. Please proceed with the ramp up. So if the Warmup function has sent around 50 emails per day, then proceed with 50 emails per day for your prospects. Do 50, after a couple of days increase it to 55 or 60, and then keep the ramp up period like a human being would do it. And then my personal recommendation, don't go over 300 emails per day. I think this is really the maximum of emails you should be sending on a daily basis. And obviously make them targeted, target people who are in your audience, make the messages relevant, and don't annoy people, please. So these are the 4 initial steps that you need to do for your email deliverability. Set your email up, then think about all the other steps. Make sure you wait for the 30 days period and make sure that you warm up the domain. Never ever send it from your business email. And yeah, I hope all your emails will land in the inbox of your recipients and you'll be happy with your open rate. Bye!